In the autumn of 2010, Ferrari unveiled something truly special at the Beijing International Auto Show. Not just another supercar, but a machine that would carry one of the most hallowed badges in automotive history, GTO, Gran Turismo Omologato. Only twice before had Ferrari bestowed these three letters upon a road car: the legendary 250 GTO of 1962 and the iconic 288 GTO of 1984. Now, after 26 years, the GTO nameplate was returning, attached to what Ferrari called their fastest road car ever created. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're diving deep into the extraordinary Ferrari 599 GTO, a 661 horsepower symphony of speed, technology, and Italian passion that represents the absolute pinnacle of front-engined V12 Ferrari engineering. To understand why the 599 GTO matters, we need to understand what GTO means to Ferrari. Gran Turismo Omologato, Grand Touring Homologated, originally signified a race car barely tamed for road use. The 250 GTO became the most valuable car in the world, with examples selling for over $70 million. The 288 GTO launched the modern supercar era. The 599 GTO wasn't just another special edition. Ferrari explicitly stated this was a road-legal version of their 599XX track car, bringing genuine racing technology to the street. Limited to just 599 examples worldwide, it was designed for Ferrari's most dedicated clients, those who understood that driving was an art form, not just transportation. This wasn't merely a faster 599 GTB Fiorano. This was Ferrari's statement that even in an age of increasing regulations and environmental concerns, they could still build a car that would make your heart race before you even turn the key. Under that long, sculpted hood sits the crown jewel, a 6.0-liter V12 engine producing 661 horsepower at a screaming 8,250 revolutions per minute and 457 pound-feet of torque. This isn't just the 599 GTB's engine with a new tune. Ferrari's engineers went through it with obsessive detail, incorporating lessons learned from the track-only 599XX program. The engine features redesigned intake manifolds, new camshafts, and a recalibrated ECU. The exhaust system was completely reworked, not just for power, but for sound, creating what many consider the greatest V12 symphony ever produced by a road car. Ferrari even reduced internal friction, allowing this massive engine to rev with the eagerness of something half its size. But raw power was only part of the equation. The 599 GTO shed 100 kilograms compared to the standard car, dropping to 1,495 kilograms dry weight. This might not sound dramatic, but every gram was fought for. Thinner glass, carbon fiber seats, lightweight forged wheels, and extensive use of carbon fiber body panels all contributed to this diet. The transmission deserves special attention. The 6-speed automated manual gearbox could shift in just 60 milliseconds, faster than you can blink. This wasn't just about straight-line speed, it was about maintaining momentum on a racetrack, keeping the engine in its sweet spot, delivering power with unprecedented immediacy. The 599 GTO's bodywork tells the story of Ferrari's racing heritage. Every curve, every vent, every subtle detail serves a purpose. The front splitter generates genuine downforce, while the aggressive rear diffuser, derived directly from Formula One technology, manages airflow under the car. Those aren't just decorative wheels either. The 5-spoke design was specifically calculated to act like fans, extracting hot air from the massive carbon ceramic brake discs. At 200 miles per hour, every surface of this car is working to either reduce drag or increase stability. The most distinctive feature might be the aero bridge on the front fenders, those characteristic vertical fins that channel air along the sides of the car, reducing turbulence and increasing high-speed stability. This wasn't styling for styling's sake, this was form-following function at its absolute best. Inside the wheel wells, you'll find another racing-derived feature: adjustable suspension with magnetorheological dampers that can adjust their stiffness in milliseconds based on road conditions and driving style. The GTO could be relatively civilized on regular roads, then transform into a track weapon at the push of a button. Numbers only tell part of the story, but oh, what numbers they are. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.35 seconds. Top speed of 208 miles per hour. The quarter-mile dispatched in just 11 seconds. But the most impressive figure might be its lap time around Ferrari's Fiorano test track, 1 minute 24 seconds, a full second faster than the Ferrari Enzo. Think about that. The Enzo was Ferrari's technological flagship, their Formula One car for the road. Yet this front-engine GT car, theoretically less dynamically optimal than a mid-engine supercar, was faster around Ferrari's own test track. The braking performance was equally staggering. The carbon ceramic discs, measuring 398 millimeters at the front and 360 millimeters at the rear, could bring the GTO from 100 kilometers per hour to a complete stop in just 32.5 meters. That's supercar humbling performance from what was, technically, a grand tourer. But the 599 GTO's party trick was its ability to be both devastatingly fast and surprisingly manageable. The second generation of Ferrari's F1 track traction control system could interpret driver inputs and road conditions with uncanny accuracy, allowing drivers to explore the car's limits with confidence. Visually, the 599 GTO is aggression made manifest. The body is 20 millimeters lower than the standard 599, giving it a more purposeful stance. The track is wider, pushing the wheels out toward the corners of the car. Every panel has been reconsidered, reshaped, perfected. The interior strikes a perfect balance between race car functionality and road car luxury. The seats are carbon fiber buckets, saving 15 kilograms while providing incredible support during high-speed cornering. The steering wheel, complete with LED shift lights and the famous Minetino switch, could have come straight from a Formula One car. Ferrari offered extensive customization through their tailor-made program. While many GTOs were finished in traditional Rosso Corsa with gray racing stripes, customers could specify virtually any color combination. Some chose subtle elegance, others went for bold, racing-inspired liveries that celebrated Ferrari's competition heritage. The attention to detail is extraordinary. The prancing horse badges aren't just stuck on, they're precisely weighted and positioned to avoid any aerodynamic disturbance. The carbon fiber weave is aligned perfectly across body panels. Even the trunk, though small, is lined in the finest leather and Alcantara. But specifications and design only matter if they translate into an unforgettable driving experience. And here, the 599 GTO delivers something truly special. Journalists who drove it described an almost telepathic connection between car and driver. The steering, unassisted and pure, communicates every nuance of the road surface. The balance, with 47% of the weight over the front axle and 53% over the rear, creates neutral handling characteristics that experienced drivers dream about. This is a car that rewards smooth, precise inputs with devastating pace. The sound is intoxicating. At idle, the V12 burbles with barely contained energy. As the revs climb, it transforms into a howl that could wake the gods. At full throttle, approaching the 8,400 revolutions per minute redline, it's producing a sound that future generations will only experience through videos, as emissions regulations make such engines extinct. What sets the GTO apart from modern turbocharged supercars is its linear power delivery. There's no sudden surge of boost, no artificial torque curve. Just a progressive, relentless accumulation of speed that seems to bend the laws of physics. It's old school in the best possible way, demanding driver involvement and rewarding skill. When new, the 599 GTO commanded a price of approximately $410,000 in the United States. But like all limited edition Ferraris, especially those wearing the GTO badge, values have only climbed. Today, pristine examples with low mileage regularly trade hands for $600,000 to $800,000, with some exceptional examples exceeding $1 million. The 599 GTO represented something of a last hurrah for naturally aspirated V12 engines in Ferrari's non-flagship models. Environmental regulations and efficiency demands meant that future Ferraris would increasingly rely on turbocharging and hybrid assistance. The GTO stands as perhaps the ultimate expression of the pure, naturally aspirated Ferrari V12. It also marked the end of an era for Ferrari's front-engine supercars. The 599's successor, the F12 Berlinetta, while brilliant, would take a slightly different direction, prioritizing usability alongside performance. The GTO's singular focus on being a road-legal race car would not be repeated. The Ferrari 599 GTO is more than just a car, it's a rolling piece of art, a technological tour de force, and a fitting carrier of the GTO legacy. It represents Ferrari at their absolute best, taking racing technology and somehow making it street legal without compromising the raw, visceral experience that makes driving a privilege, not just a necessity. In an automotive world increasingly dominated by electric powertrains and autonomous technology, the 599 GTO stands as a monument to a different philosophy, one where the driver is the most important component, where mechanical perfection creates emotional connection, and where the journey matters more than the destination. For the lucky 599 souls who own one, the GTO isn't just transportation or even just a supercar. It's a time machine to an era when cars could still be dangerous, demanding, and utterly, completely, magnificently alive. The 599 GTO proves that sometimes, 3 letters can mean everything.